Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini ChannelEye. I'm Sharon Mascarenhas.
And I am Tilina Udayaratna. We begin with a look at the headlines for tonight. The initial stock of vaccines against the coronavirus manufactured in Russia is to arrive in the island tonight. Several more areas have been isolated as a result of the spread of COVID-19. New Delhi faces crisis in cremating the coronavirus-related dead due to a shortage of timber. The Attorney General requests to have a separate 3-member panel of judges to investigate the cases against former IGP Pujit Jayasundara and former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando. Sri Lanka wins the second test of the current series against Bangladesh by establishing several world records. And on your top local story this evening, 6 police divisions and 75 gramillidari divisions throughout the island have so far been isolated as a result of the rapid spread of the coronavirus pandemic. The gramillidari division of Uggalla in the Padukka police division in the Colombo district, as well as the gramillidari divisions of Pingwatta, Pingwatta West and Narampitiya in the Panadura South police division in the Kalutara district have also been isolated with effect from this morning. In addition, the Bandaragama East gramillidari division in the Bandaragama police division and the Alvis Vatta area in the Vattala police division in the Gampaha district have also come under isolation since this morning. Munnai in the Batiklo district and the Tissa Veerasingham Square gramillidari division in the Northern police division, as well as the Ratnatiya gramillidari division in the Hanguranketa police division in the Nuwara district have been isolated. The isolation status imposed on the Piliyandala police division was lifted at 5 a.m. today, but 8 more gramillidari divisions in the same police division have come under isolation today. These gramillidari divisions are Dampe, Batakattara, Palangwatta West, Kasbava South, Palangwatta East, Makandana East, Mavittara North and Madapatha. The isolation status already imposed on the gramillidari divisions of Gorakapitiya and Nampamunua in the Piliyandala police division will continue. The National Operational Centre for the Prevention of the Spread of the COVID-19 outbreak says that the gramillidari division of Arawala North in the Mahargama police division has also been isolated with effect from this morning. Meanwhile, the Office of the Medical Officer of Health in Bagavantalava says that several plantations in the divisions of Bagavantalava, Norwood and Industry have been subject to isolation with effect from this afternoon. Accordingly, the town of Honsi in Norwood and the Bathpod segment of the Industry plantation, Beerad and Bilinkiboni and Appagali areas have become isolated. The Bagavantalava MOH office says that the decision to isolate the areas has been taken following the detection of COVID-19 infected persons amounting to 19.
The Ministry of Health says that the initial stock of Sputnik V manufactured in Russia is scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka tonight. The quantity is comprised of 15,000 doses of Sputnik V vaccine. 94,436 persons have been inoculated with the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine under the COVID-19 inoculation program. The vaccination process has continued today as well. The provision of the vaccine to the health staff in Kalutara District General Hospital commenced today. Around 2,000 vaccines are scheduled to be provided. The second dose of vaccination of the AstraZeneca vaccine has also taken place at the National Eye Hospital today. Another program on the inoculation of the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine has taken place at the COVID Treatment Centre of the Kosgamashala Government Hospital. Army Commander General Shavindra Silva informs to provide information on any COVID-19 patients continuously remaining in homes to direct telephone number 1906. Another 1,046 COVID-19 patients were detected in the island today. 967 left hospital today after recovering from the virus. 98,209 have recovered from the virus and 13,894 are undergoing treatment. 100 fully cured COVID-19 patients left the COVID-19 Intermediate Treatment Centre in Pinnavala today. 9 COVID-19 deaths were reported yesterday from Kabithigolava, Polonnaruwa, Lewula, Tennakumbura, Mattegoda, Malabe, Kantale, Warakamura and Bandaragama. The Sri Lanka Transport Board says that it is ready to deploy buses to suit to the needs of the passengers at any moment. The Sri Lanka Board's authority says that the activities in the authority are being carried out as usual despite the corona pandemic. The number of services recipients arriving at the head office of the Department of Labour and provincial district officers is to be restricted with the aim of controlling the corona spread. The service recipients are requested to reserve a date and time for their appointment from the official website of the Department Labour, that is www.labourdept.gov.lk. Measures have been taken not to open the Devala Zoological Gardens, the Pinnavala Elephant Orphanage, Pinnavala Zoological Gardens and the Ridiyagama Safari Park to the visitors from tomorrow until further notice in view of the corona pandemic. The Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources reiterated the need to prevent the threat of migrants entering Sri Lanka from India and other nearby countries. This was disclosed in a communique issued by the District Assistant Directors. It has also pointed out that the need to remain vigilant on all vessels engaged in the fishing industry at present. According to the communique, there is a possibility of migrants entering the island using fishing craft through the sea routes and maintaining contacts with the locals with the aim of receiving money and other assistance. The State Minister of Indigenous Medicine, Rural and Ayurvedic Hospital Development and Community Health requests the general public not to use the drug prescriptions being circulated over the internet as quality medicines against COVID-19 disease. Consuming of inappropriate medicines could become harmful to human health. Several employees engaged in issuing tickets at the Atrugiriya, Kottava and Kathudu entrances in the Southern Highway were reported to have infected with the COVID-19 disease. As a result, tickets were not issued from these centres today. It has also been identified that 18 persons in the village of Kiramanagala Pathana in Alla who went on a pilgrimage to Sri Pada were also afflicted with COVID-19. An employee of the Kapatipola depot of the Sri Lanka Transport Board was also infected with COVID-19. Close associates of the victims have been subjected to quarantine at the depot premises. More COVID-19 patients were reported to have found in Hingaragoda Medical Office of Health Division. Accordingly, 7 shops in the town have been closed down. The Hingaragoda Base Hospital has been reserved for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Around 200 patients are being treated at the time. The close down of Varalavatta Polytech's garment factory in Gampa has been converted into a COVID-19 treatment centre. The Navy will be assisting in the reconstruction of the centre at a cost of 10 million rupees. It will be comprised of 2,000 beds and emergency oxygen supplies. 40 physicians and 50 nurses are included in the medical staff of the centre. State Minister Indika Anuruddha says constructions in the Millennium Ward complex and the OPD of the Colombo South Teaching Hospital will be completed within several days. The police says 215 more persons who are violated the health guidelines have been arrested in 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. today. An operation has been conducted in Vaunia today to apprehend those who violate health guidelines. A program to enlighten plantation labour on protective health measures was conducted in Hatton today. And on the COVID-19 in India, India has reported more than 368,000 new coronavirus infections for a 12th straight day today, taking its overall number of cases to 20 million, as scientists predicted a peak in the pandemic in the coming days. Total coronavirus infections now stand at 19.9 million, while its total fatalities are now at 218,959.
India reported more than 300,000 new coronavirus cases on Monday for the 12th day straight. taking its overall numbers to just under 20 million. Scientists predict a peak in infections over the next couple of days. India's public health system is already buckling under the caseload. Hospitals have filled to capacity, people are dying for lack of medical oxygen, and morgues and crematoriums are overrun. Despite being the world's biggest producer of vaccines, only about 9% of India's 1.4 billion population has received a dose. Pfizer is in discussions with the Indian government seeking, quote, an expedited approval pathway for its vaccine. Pfizer's CEO also announced a donation of medicines worth more than $70 million. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been reluctant to impose a national lockdown out of concern over the economic impact. In the last few months, millions have gone unmasked to religious festivals and political rallies, while elections in several states were allowed to continue. That's despite the government reportedly having knowledge of more contagious variants since early March. With the next general election due in 2024, the impact of the crisis on Modi's political future remains unclear. His Hindu nationalist BJP party failed to win a crucial state election in West Bengal on Sunday, in a sign his populist sway could be checked.
In other local news, Dilum Amunagama was sworn in as the State Minister of Community Police Services today. He took oaths in the new post before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's office this morning. Dilum Amunagama is also functioning as the State Minister of Vehicle Regulation, Passenger Bus Transport Service, Railway Compartments and Motor Vehicle Industries.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government always appreciates the commitment and the task carried out by the media personnel to enlighten the masses by courageously facing the threat of the COVID pandemic, disregarding the threats. He further points out that it is most appropriate to commemorate the World Media Freedom Day under the theme "Information is for the benefit of the general public." Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa made these remarks issuing a message in connection with the World Media Freedom Day, which falls today. Information communication is one of the rapidly developing topics in the world. The Prime Minister's message further points out that a timely need is independent and responsible media usage. The people's right to have access to information is being consolidated only through accurate media usage. The Prime Minister also says that on every occasion, the current government came into power and it has secured the right to access of information and media freedom. The Prime Minister in his message has requested mass media personnel to utilize media freedom for the realization of social, cultural and economic aspirations of the country. Meanwhile, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the media professionals apply reflects the noble status of their esteemed profession by engaging in their duties with utmost courage in the midst of a massive global pandemic. He further points out that it is timely to inquire as to whether to which extent the freedom to be entrusted upon the media has been established in the past as well as at the present. Sanctions of any type should not be imposed upon media, which is regarded as the fourth government of a country. He adds that self-imposed sanctions should take place of forced sanctions. Minister of Mass Media Dr. Kelia Rambukwella says that the role of media personnel would become a matter of crucial importance in the context of present-day world crisis as never before in history. He adds that the freedom of media personnel who engage in such an important social media responsibility is being appreciated to the maximum extent. The minister, issuing a message in connection with the International Media Day, further says that the media personnel are fulfilling a national task of enlightening the general public by providing accurate information regarding the pandemic. They should be extended maximum respect for their endeavours. The media freedom of the media personnel should be consolidated with the consolidation of the rights of the entire population. The minister has also pointed out that the self-imposed programs should be created through the media personnel themselves. The minister further calls upon media persons to utilize their task and freedom on behalf of the country, the people and the society.
The Attorney General has reportedly requested the Chief Justice to conduct a separate investigation by a three-member panel of judges on charges against former IGP Pujit Jayasundara and former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando over the Easter Sunday attack. This was disclosed by coordinating official of the AG Attorney-at-Law Nishara Jayaratna. Coordinating officer of the AG Attorney-at-Law Nishara Jayaratna said that the AG has informed that the two suspects have violated clauses 296 and 300 in the penal code through their failure to prevent the attack on the 21st of April 2019. Accordingly, they have become offenders for the deaths of 275 people and injuries sustained to nearly 500 people. The AG has displayed facts pertaining to the charges in the Colombo High Court today.
Director General of Presidential Media Sudeva Hettiarachchi and President's Media spokesman Kingsley Ratnayaka assumed duties in their new posts at the Presidential Media Division in Fort Colombo today. They have assumed duties giving prominence to religious observances. Only a limited number of persons was present due to the prevailing health condition at the ceremonies held in this connection. The Mahasangha, headed by the chief incumbent of the Mirisawatiya Viharaya, Venerable Ithela Watunuwave Gnanatilaka, Venerable Dr. Kirindaya Saji, Venerable Professor Induragare Dhammaratana, and Venerable Professor Madagoda Abeyatissa, Venerable Uduwe Dhammalokatheros were present on the occasion. The Mahasangha have chanted Seth Pirit and extended blessings to the officials. President Chief Advisor Lalit Veeratunga, Defence Secretary Retired General Kamal Gunaratna, Director General of the Government Information Mohan Samaranayaka, as well as staff officials of the Presidential and Prime Ministerial Media Divisions were also present.
The National Front of Professionals says that intellectuals come forward to educate the masses on the benefits to be received due to the banning of the importation of chemical fertilizer. Senior Vice President of the Front, Dr. Samantha Ananda, has expressed his observations in this regard at a dialogue organized by the Ministry of Mass Media and the National Development Media Centre today. Vice President of the Front, Dr. Samantha Ananda, at the discussion titled "A Sri Lanka Devoid of Poison," has pointed out that the seriousness of the problem could be found when looking at the patients undergoing treatment at the Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa and Colombo National Hospitals, as well as at the Cancer Hospital in Maharagama. The multinational companies sell these poisonous material in a very sophisticated manner. The physician further said that politicians could also exploit the innocent farmers in this regard. Therefore, it is essential to enlighten the entire country on this situation.
And here's more local news in brief. State Minister Sisira Jayakodi presided over the main national ceremony of setting up herbal gardens at Indigulla Sri Vidyavansha Mahapirivena in Gampa today. The 10th grinding session of 411,000 metric tons of cane at the Hingurana Sugar Company in Ampara commenced today. The aim is to produce 6 million litres of ethanol and more than 28,000 metric tons of sugar. The newly appointed Sri Lankan representative of the World Food Organization, Abu Rahim Siddiqui, presented his credentials to the Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena today.
Well, that's it from the Rupavahini News Desk for tonight. Join us once again tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a great night.